Hello, and thank you for watching and listening to another episode of Unmedicated and Educated with Keita Rose. I'm Keita Rose, and here we deep dive, dissect, and sometimes diagnose because it seems everyone, including myself, has lost their damn minds. If you are new here, thank you so much for giving me a try. If you are an OG, then you already know what the is going on, okay? So like, share, subscribe, talk shit in the comments. You know, tell me how you really feel. Today's patients, we're calling up to Clinic 3. Clinic 3. That'll be Hunchxo, spelled with an X. Keyshia, I never should've cheated Cole. And Glitter Gloss Glam Glow. That's her name. It's Glitter Glow Gloss. All right, so boom. Keyshia. Keyshia pops out with a new boo, and as we all know, Keyshia Cole doesn't have a good track record, a good history of dating men, right? She was married once before, that didn't really work out. She's gotten her heart broken a lot. She was with AB, Antonio Brown, who we all think might have that brain injury disorder that comes with football, but we can't tell. There's no way of knowing because the only way that you can tell if somebody has CT or CTE is when they die and the doctors are able to scan their brain to see whatever vein was loose or whatever frontal lobe got smushed in or whatever. However they check for it, you can only check for it when the player has died. So we don't really know what's wrong with AB, but we know he got a lot going on. All right, that didn't end well. Now she popped out with Hunchxo. Hunchxo is a 24-year-old rapper. Now everybody made a big deal about it because Keyshia's in her 40s. Keyshia is fine as hell. Let's take a minute because no Keyshia Cole slander will be tolerated on this platform. Not when I was singing love. Oh, never knew what I was missing. Okay, I'm not the best singer, but you get what I was doing at around 11, 12, 13, 14, whenever that song came out. Okay, so nah, we're not finna hate on Keyshia. We're gonna give Keyshia her flowers because we're not gonna act like she's not an R&B diva, an iconic legend. Stop playing with Keyshia, please. And she's fine as hell. I don't know if she's vegan. I don't know if she's plant-based. I'd like to ask her one day. Do you drink a lot of water? How? Tell us your secret, Keyshia. Anywho, she pops out with Hunchxo. Okay. And everything seems to be going good. Yes, everybody's mad about it because the fact that she's older, but older men have been dating younger women forever. And the excuse seems to be because they have common sense and they've lived enough life to know when somebody is trying to bullshit them and when somebody is trying to lie or manipulate them. So this is the reason why older men have constantly said that they wanted to be with younger women, 18, 20, 21, 22, 24, right? Al Pacino. I mean, the list goes on and on. We can there's like 40 pages of men that are currently dating somebody the age of their grandchild, right? When a woman does it, it is a big deal. It is a problem. Oh, don't you have kids that age? That's a problem. You know what? Men have kids their age. Men have kids the age of the women that they're dating. Sometimes the woman is younger than their kids. Again, never an issue, right? No one says anything. But people were on Keyshia's ass. How could you be dating this young boy? Whatever. Hope he doesn't break your heart. Or some people were tweeting, I hope he does break your heart so that that album could be fire. And I really hate when people say that to recording artists because it's like, yeah, my music was hot because I really poured my heart out. But I mean, I don't want to necessarily get heartbroken or go through a tragedy or go through a loss just to entertain you, right? Like, if you don't like my music when I'm depressed and happy, then just don't even call yourself a fan. But that's what it is. So 3G is a rapper, right? And she had a song with Hunchxo. And so everybody was confused because she pops out with a picture, and the picture, the caption of that picture says like he know what it is in real life, like stink-a-link forever, something like that, you know. She even got on live one day and called him that, and he was kind of like, you tripping, da-da-da-da, but they were still flirting around. So it is thought that they were in a relationship where Glitter comes out and she's like, nah, we not together no more. I seen him pop out with Keyshia and he was trying to talk to me. We were supposed to be a thing, you know, they had sex, they did all that, but I seen him pop out with Keyshia. So if I'm getting the story right, it was 3G was with Hunchxo, right? Hunchxo was also with Keyshia. Keyshia and Hunchxo popped out. 3G was already not really dealing with him because maybe she felt the distance or maybe it wasn't going well or whatever. So she already had a boyfriend that she claims that she's gonna marry. But when he popped out with Keyshia, it really pissed her off. So she decided to continue to fuck with him or to start back fucking with him just to, I guess, piss Keyshia off. Let her know that like, you think you have him, but baby, I can pick pick him up whenever I want. As quickly as I drop him, I can pick him. I don't know what the point of that was, but they got into a little Twitter beef, right? 3G and Keyshia. And so what bothers me is if I was Keyshia, I would have not said shit to somebody named Glitter Glam Gloss Glow. I'm not gonna do it. I'm already 40-something years old messing with a 20-year-old. I already know what it is. He's 6'7", y'all.
He's 6'7", y'all. So I already know.
That dick is Jerkins.
No, I don't know for sure, but but I'm just saying, like, you're having your fun with this boy. These little girls are saying this and that. Let them say whatever. Oh well, I don't care. This is how we know Keyshia's in love, because Keyshia is hopeless romantic, and she loves love, and she's always expressed the fact that she really cares about, people, and she wants to be in a loving relationship, and one day she wants to be a wife, and this has always been something that Keyshia has talked about. So Keyshia pops out. Not only does she pop out letting everybody know that she's with Hunchxo, but she shows us that she's mad about what 3G is saying. Glitter, glam, gloss, glow, glam is saying. And it's like, damn it. I would have been quiet. I'm having fun with this boy. I'm gonna keep on having fun with this boy. I don't care about what y'all got going on. I'm happy. I'm gonna light my candle in my mansion. And when 6 foot, 7 foot comes over to fuck, that's our time. I don't know. I don't see a marriage with this man, but I'm starting to think that Keyshia maybe thought that that's where that was going. Like, Keyshia maybe thought that it was a real relationship. It was going to be a real relationship. And maybe this rapper who's extremely attractive, who's 6'7", who's just now getting his foot in the door. I don't know. Maybe he's been in the game, but I haven't heard much from him. I haven't heard anybody say, play that Hunchxo shit. I actually haven't heard anybody say, play that glitter, glam, gloss, glow. But also, I'm not 17, so I don't know. I'm just saying that, I would expect Keyshia to have fun with this boy and not get super serious. Not serious enough to fight anybody back and forth, but that didn't happen. She had a couple of things to say, actually. So Glitter Glam Gloss Glow gets on Twitter and says shit like, my mother taught me to respect my elders, but I was laid up with them last night when you were blowing up his phone crying. Now, mind you, 3G already has a boyfriend that she claims that she's going to marry. So why get on Twitter and blow up Hunchxo, right? Blow up his spot, and also age shame Keyshia whilst talking shit as if you're upset that he's cheating on you? You're in a relationship. He's not cheating. Unless y'all got something going on, some open type of relationship, but it was weird. What was even weirder was the fact that Keyshia, a legend, felt like she needed to argue with somebody who named themselves Glitter Glam Gloss Glow Be Gone. It's crazy. So these are some of the things that Keyshia said. The way people want to see the next unhappy and miserable is forever crazy to me, but I know how this Hollywood shit go. I'm not surprised, but I don't wish nothing but love, prosperity, and health and happiness for all y'all. See, what a classy response. What a classy response. But I'm with Keyshia on that one, because it did seem like 3G wanted to see her upset. There was no point. You're already married. That's your fiance. You're about to get married. You're in love with another man. Hunchxo, apparently you knew was a player. You knew he was a dog. He wasn't shit. So you let him go. You let him roam, and he roamed to Keyshia. And now I guess you want your dog back, so you're pulling at the leash. What was the reason? What was the reason? Anywho's, next, Keyshia says, him being your sneaky link when you have a man you about to marry is nasty work, but I wish you all the best on your project, love. Actually, I was rooting for the video to come out. This is what they posted. She posted a picture of Hunchxo and her at their music video, at their shoot. So yes, they were hugged up and they were all rubbed up together and shit. But yeah, if you're a love interest in the song, then you're going to do things like that. What was the reason? What was the reason? Anywho's, next and last, Keyshia says the way the Shade Room running with this fake narrative, like these pics from a video shoot, was shot before Hunchxo, I guess, Cho met me, is crazy. And it's like, that it was a video shoot. I can't understand how she might see it as, this bitch just wants to see me unhappy. I don't believe any of the rumors, but here's my issue. Here's where the whole situation got me fucked up, because I had popped out and told everybody that we were together, so now everybody knows we're together. And so I also do things like when you're on live, Hunchxo, when he's on live, Keyshia writes, love you, babe, love you, baby, in which several of the lives lives, he hasn't really, responded. It was said that on one of his lives, he said, you ain't got to do all that. You ain't got to do all that. Just show me in person. Kind of like dismissing her a little. Hey, you ain't got to write to me on live. You know what it is in real life. We'll just do what we do in person when I come see you. That to me screams, I'm dropping off this dick. You know what it is, but we don't need to let everybody know that we're a couple. Well, nigga, then why did you let me post you? Why did you let me post you? Why did you let me do all that? Why didn't you tell me I was doing too much when I was posting you and doing all this and all that? Now I'm on live and you saying I'm doing too much. I think that these Negroes pick classy, seasoned women on purpose because I'm gonna come through and I'm gonna bust you in your shit. I don't think domestic violence is funny. Okay, let me just start by saying that. But some people learn better when you hit them in they shit. Okay, because I don't know why you're playing me publicly like this can't get physical real quick. Insty-hoos. So Glitter Glam Gloss Glow decides to post several times on Instagram showing her man, she's out on a date. She says she don't care anymore. She says that Hunchxo is a dog and it is what it is. Now Keyshia is seen, right after this incident at the club with Hunchxo's big ass chain on dancing around. Also, Hunchxo decided to post Keyshia with no makeup on. They were on FaceTime. She looked like she was laughing. She told Hunchxo to take that shit off. On Twitter, she said, take that shit off your page. I hate being posted without lashes, even though, as you can see, Keyshia Cole is beautiful. I don't know what's going on. He probably cheated. Okay, here's the thing. When you're messed with a certain type of man, rapper, athlete, gangster, whatever, you already know what comes with those type of men. It comes with a lot of women thirsty for attention, thirsty for money, thirsty to make you mad because they feel like, oh, you in the music industry, maybe I'm on the same level as you. You're not. You're just not. And it's not because 3G isn't talented. I don't know if she's talented or not, but it's because Keyshia has more time. Keyshia has had 20 years to gain a fan base, a loyal fan base. Keyshia had 20 years to drop amazing hits and to show us all of her talent. You just popped up on the scene. So why you think you can fight with an icon? I just don't understand it. But anywho's, it is what it is. I wish them the best. The reason for me bringing up this story wasn't to necessarily outline everything Keyshia Cole has been through, but really to talk about a point, right? People like to be like, I don't understand why Keisha's going through this. She's 40 years old. She should know this and that. Let me tell you something. I'm so sick of this narrative and this age shaming ass. Well, you should know that a 24-year-old is going to do this and that, and you shouldn't, put all your eggs in this basket. Of course she shouldn't. He's 24 years old. I believe she knows that. But to say things like, well, you're old. Why won't you be with somebody your own age? Why are you crying over a 24-year-old? Because I'd rather cry over a 24-year-old than cry over a 42-year-old. Again, about that list that we talked about earlier, that long list of men, we can go through that long list of 40-year-old, 50-year-old, and 60-year-old men, 70-year-old men that are still playing games, still cheating, still lying, still living a double life, still manipulating, still being a terrible fucking person. There are lists. The lists go on and on. So I get it. People don't like to see older women with younger men, but this whole I can't believe you doing that over a boy, Would you rather see her crying over a 42-year-old? Because that's what these celebrities are showing us, that no matter what age you are, there's still going to be infidelity, there's still going to be lies, you're still going to be publicly humiliated. What? So yes, let's do that with somebody with tighter skin. Okay? Let's do that with somebody that still has their balls intact, that their balls haven't dropped over the course of 60 years. Sure, why not? It is what it is. I mean, hell, if y'all don't have a problem with older men, y'all shouldn't have a problem with older women dating younger. It is what it is. But let me know if I'm tripping in the comments. Do you believe that older women should date older men? Do you believe that it's wrong for an older woman to date somebody in their 20, 24, 25, 26 years old at 40 something years old? Let me know in the comments. I'm just saying, if y'all didn't have a problem with it when men do it, I don't see why it's a problem when a woman does it. I think it's an issue too because it goes against the narrative of once you 30, no man wants you. You all used up. It's like, you say that once we're 30, if we're not married, then we're all used up and nobody wants us. Well, we've seen that that's a lie. So many younger men are going to older women. So that's a lie. And then you say, well, you should date somebody your own age. But wait, 90% of the older men in Hollywood are dating younger women. Who they supposed to date? Older men are with younger women. I don't want to date women, so I'm not going to go that route. Who should I date? Who should I date? Anywho, I'm happy for Keyshia. And you know what? Go ahead, get you that ding-a-ling, girl. Get you that sneak-a-link, dink-a-link. Do what you got to do, all right? Just don't think that marriage, it's going to end in marriage. But honestly, if you were a 42-year-old right now in 2024, I'd tell you the same thing. Don't think it's going to end in marriage. These men are, wow. So Vlad TV is a blogger, right? Everybody should know him. He has a very popular YouTube channel in which over the years, he's only talked to black celebrities. He's had celebrities expose themselves, expose others, tell lies, tell secrets. Basically, people feel the consensus of the black community is that Vlad is not for the black community. Vlad gets money off of us because he generates views from us watching ignorance, right? Like Boosie clocking in every week to work with Vlad and whatnot and what such, right? So the black community feels like Vlad is a culture vulture and that he doesn't belong in some of our conversations and doesn't understand why Vlad TV has been invited and has a permanent seat at the cookout, right? We don't really know. And so he gets into it with somebody by the name, a professor by the name of Morgan Jerkins. And we'll talk about that. So basically the conversation started like this. Vlad was on Twitter and he said, Kendrick's Not Like Us needed a better mix. It takes away from the song. He gave an opinion about one of the diss tracks between Kendrick Lamar and Drake. As you know, Kendrick and Drake are in a nasty beef right now. Nasty beef. All right. So Morgan Jerkins says, you are white. This is a black folk affair. Basically, you're not invited to this conversation and you need to go ahead and sit this one out because you're white. Vlad says, wait, so a professor at Princeton is telling me that a white person shouldn't be allowed to voice their opinion about hip hop? Is that how you interact with your students? Mind you, he's tagged Princeton because she's a professor at Princeton. She said, what I'm saying is that you put your opinion in discussion that's not needed. This conversation is and should center around black people, not you. He said, don't try to change your words now. I'll be reaching out to Princeton about this on Monday. She says semester's over and my contract has been completed, but thanks for trying to bully me out of a job for centering black people because you got your feelings hurt. Very retaliatory, huh? Nice tactic. He says, it's called a permanent record. Every university has one. I went to Berkeley myself. People spew ignorant and bigoted comments at you publicly and then act like they're getting bullied when they get a response. Typical victim mentality. Go ahead and take that at Princeton out of your profile, sweetie. You just admitted it's not even true anymore. Morgan Jerkins said, sweetheart, before I was a professor at Princeton, I graduated from Princeton, LOL. So what is you really saying? DJ Vlad says, good luck at being a professor at Princeton again. He adds Princeton again. So at every rebuttal he has for this woman, he's adding Princeton. Like, Princeton, come look at this conversation I'm having with one of your employees. I doubt the university supports their faculty telling non-black students to shut the fuck up about anything hip-hop related because of their skin color. Well, I gotta stop you there, Vlad. That's not what happened. You're not a student at Princeton. You're not a student, and you're not one of her students. So I doubt that she talks to her students that way. You're not a student. And she never told you to shut the fuck up. So that's a little extra. Morgan says, which is not even what I said. I find it funny that you specifically chose to respond to me, belittle my academic background, and threaten my job when others responded to you in a much harsher way. Very interesting and very telling, but you got it. Vlad says, it's exactly what you said. No, it isn't. She told you that it shouldn't be centered around you. She told you that you shouldn't have an opinion, but she didn't tell you to shut the fuck up, and you're definitely not one of her students. Anyways, Vlad says, that's exactly what you said. You're backtracking now. I've never belittled your academic background, just the opposite, actually. I'm pointing out that someone claiming to represent a top Ivy League university should be held at a higher standard. You're threatening your own job by publicly spewing bigotry while representing at Princeton in your bio. I responded to you because all of the other responses are from trolls and fake accounts. You may want to think about getting a burner account like all the other bigots do. That's how you keep from getting fired, LOL. So basically, Morgan is saying that Vlad is continuously tagging Princeton because he wants her to get fired after telling him to stay in his, white-owned lane when it comes to hip-hop and anything black culture. Again, I say that black people already feel like Vlad is a culture vulture and that he's made a lot of money. He's eaten off a lot of black people's testimonies, a lot of black people's interviews, and he hasn't actually helped the community by showcasing black doctors or what black children are, how black children are soaring academically or anything like that. He really just talks about hip hop beef and hip hop drama and he eats off of black people. So Vlad said, since it's Monday, let me clear the air and state that I never had an intention on filing a complaint to Princeton for former Professor Morgan Jerkins saying that white people aren't allowed to comment on Kendrick Lamar's music. She trolled me and I trolled back. At the end of the day, it created an interesting discussion about race relations in America. I will be discussing it further in my future interviews. And it's like, that's not what happened. You did tag them a lot. You wanted them to know. You wanted her to get fired, but she wasn't, like she said, the semester's over and there was nothing that you can really do. Had Princeton reached out, I believe if Princeton would have reached out and said, hey, you know, what's going on? Or do you want to file a complaint? I think that Vlad would have been like, absolutely, I want this black bitch fired. I'm sorry. I do think that's what would have happened. So Morgan says, now that he's walked it back, I have final projects from Princeton and graduate thesis to evaluate. Screenshots last forever. You tried to get violent and now you realized how many people were in my corner. Oops. Because people were dog walking Vlad. I mean, people were like, hey, listen, you are a white man and you shouldn't be coming at this black woman about hip hop. You shouldn't be in the conversation. And so the last tweet Morgan tweeted is basically that Vlad was lying about not wanting to get her fired and about the conversation sparking some really good discourse around race relations when it comes to hip hop in America. None of that conversation I just read was a good discourse about race relation. It looked like a black woman and a white man fighting. And it looked like that white man kept on tagging that black woman's employer. And instead of fighting her with logic, instead of being like, this is the reason why I need to have an opinion. This is the reason why I'm allowed. This is what makes you a bigot. Instead, it was just like Princeton. It was giving very much so, where's your manager? My daddy's a lawyer and we're going to have your ass. We're going to own everything that you own and we're going to sue the shit out of you. You have no idea who the fuck you messed with, lady. Where's the manager? Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what it was giving. Anyway, she says, a lie. He tagged my employer multiple times with intention to professionally harm me. I didn't troll. I censored black people in a discussion on hip hop and told him to stand down because it's not his space. He's backtracking because he's miscalculated. By the way, stop contacting my family. So I guess Vlad is contacting her family. That was an interesting fight. Honestly, wow. Yikes on a bike. Well, that was an interesting fight. Honestly, I feel like Vlad did backtrack a lot and he lied. He said that his intentions was never to talk to the employer or to get Morgan fired, but that's not true. If that was the case, then you wouldn't have constantly been like, you're not going to have a job. I'm sure you're not going to have a job. It's a permanent record. Tag Princeton, tag Princeton, tag Princeton. Like, what the fuck is going on? A lot of people have told Vlad that he is a culture vulture. A lot of black people have said and expressed that they feel like he eats off of negative commentary, negative testimonials, a negative image of black people, rappers and killings and beefs and all that type of shit. Like, this is how he makes his money. And never once has he shown great things that have happened in the black community because he doesn't necessarily care about the black community. And he doesn't have to. No one's begging VLADimir to care about the black community. I'm just saying that he could have looked at that tweet as he looks at everybody else that says that he shouldn't have an opinion or that he shouldn't even be in the position that he's in and swept it under the rug. Whatever, it's another hater. I'm gonna continue to make my millions. Instead, he decided to contact her, right? He decided to go back and forth. Apparently, he's contacting her family, so she says, and contact her employer, tag them several times to get their attention so that they can see this, and hopefully, in hopes, to bring disciplinary action upon this black lady. How do you feel? Do you believe that white people are allowed to have an opinion on hip hop, right? Do you think that Vlad is a culture vulture? Do you believe that Morgan should have stayed in her black ass lane and not came for Vlad? What do you feel? Are you happy for Keyshia calling Hunchxo, or do you think that that's a joke? Listen, do you feel like older women in their 40s, in their 50s, and their 60s should not date younger? Do you feel that same way about men, or is it only for women? Let me know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, talk shit. And until next time, I'll holla.